not just everyone wants to say college women's basketball. I think college basketball, college athletics in general. I think it was tremendous. Can't thank everyone for coming. And secondly, what I told our team after the game was I could not be more proud of how hard they played, the way they played, the way they did things that we asked them to do coming into this game. And I kind of hinted to them like they better get us now. That game was a bunch of old guys beat a bunch of young guys. That's what it came down to, and you got to give them credit for that. So appreciate everyone being here.
Bill, hi Bill. What did you learn about your team tonight?
I think what we learned was that they're willing to prepare the way that you need to prepare to play in these kind of games. And I think we learned that they are not going to back down from anyone at any time. And I think what we learned were the things that we're going to have to work through. I mean, you can practice a lot of stuff, but you got to, like we all do, you got to live it. And you can't skip the line and say, well, now I get to play like Kate Martin. I mean, Kate Martin was, our kids were in 7th and 8th grade when Kate Martin started playing at Iowa. So it's like, you can't make that up. If that gap is there, and you got to play through it. But I like I said, I'm not into moral victories. I'm pissed we lost, all that. But seriously, I love our team. I love what they're about, and I love the way they did what they did tonight.
Bill, when you say old guys versus young guys, does that kind of show up when Hannah makes a shot to take the lead and they've been there at this level and you've got a bunch of youngsters that haven't?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it. And, it's like I said, I think our local media people, last year that group, a lot of them are playing in the national championship game, and our kids are getting ready to go to senior prom. It's like, they just, again, I said it before the game, and I'll say it again. I am a monster Kate Martin fan. I thought she was the difference in the game. Obviously, Caitlin's amazing, talented, one of the greatest women's players I've ever seen. But Kate Martin was the difference in the game, in my opinion, both offensively and defensively. And that's a kid that gets it. She understands it. She's well coached. She knows her role on that team. And I think you can see her growing even at this age. So very impressed with her.
How would you describe the way Ariana played defense tonight? And actually the team as a whole, what you held them to in the second and third quarter, sub 27%.
Yeah, I thought AJ was really good. And, again, you're asking someone to guard who she had to guard. But I think defensively my staff did an amazing job. I thought our plan was good. They're averaging 90, and they have 55 with 4 minutes to go in the game. So if you would have said before the game we're going to hold them to 67, then we're in the game. And we were. That's a team that can score in bunches, and I thought overall we did the things we needed to do to keep ourselves in the game. And defensively, we had to give up a few things, obviously. But overall, I thought our kids really embraced it and did a good job of it.
What type of impact did the pace of the game and how you were able to kind of slow them down and dictate it impact the game, and just what Iowa was able to do?
We wanted to slow the game down as much as we could. It's hard. You can't hold the ball, but you can be smart. I thought early some of our shot selection was not very good. But I think we wanted to just not be in a hurry. If they scored, take your time, get it up the court, get into your offense, and just tempo the game, and not just, like I said, you look at their scores. They're putting 100 on people, 99, 113. We had no chance in a game like that. So we just told our kids, like I said, upper 60s, low 70s, and, really kind of completely changed the way we play, because we just didn't want to we like to run the ball, but we can't run it like them. And so we just decided we weren't gonna, and to our kids' credit, they handled it really well.
Seemed like when Audie first got here, there were so many questions about the transition and adjustment to the game for her. But what does a game at this stage against this opponent do for maybe answering some of those questions?
No, I think, again, you're talking about a kid that, is in her 8th collegiate game, and, we're running plays for her. She's doing a lot of great things. I thought she played, 25 really good minutes, did the stuff that we asked her to do. And, for a freshman to be in that environment is impressive, especially as a post player. But I don't know if you could have been more pleased with the way she played overall. I mean, she made her free throws. She defended exactly the way we wanted her to defend. She's all jacked up. We let her shoot the 3 tonight. She was all excited about that. Actually, that was a play we put in today for her to shoot it. My staff was not overly excited about that decision, but yeah, she's an amazing kid, and we're just really lucky to have her, and she's going to do a lot of good things here.
Coach, I think your team collectively today easily played its best game of the year, and you're playing a top 5 team, you're playing a rivalry game, sold out crowd. What was the biggest contributor to what allowed that to happen? Did it have anything to do with preparation, or what did you take away about your team from that performance?
I mean, I'm a next 40-minute guy, but let's be honest. 90% of the people in this room aren't here any other game. Our kids understand what the game was about. I mean, come on. I'm not going to say it's just another game. No, it's not. Come on. It's a big game in the state. We all know it. And I think that leads into your preparation. But now the challenge is to keep doing it. And that's the thing about basketball is we got to do it quick. And finals next week. And so I think the part of it, Connor, is I hope they see that the proper level of preparation led to an opportunity to play against one of the best teams in the country and play them straight up, toe-to-toe, to the bitter end. So hopefully that's, a learning lesson for them, and I think it will be.
You guys went with some isolation plays. I think it was with Addie Brown and Nymerdu as well against Sydney Fulter several times in the fourth quarter. Was there something that you saw on film that you felt like you could exploit there? Just what was the reasoning for?
No, we were just trying to get to the free throw line a little bit more, trying to spread the court. They did a really good job of being smart on their help. What we thought we could maybe get a bigger guard post up. But again, we were trying to because we were struggling to make shots. We were trying to be a little more aggressive, getting stuff going to the rim. And they did a really good job defending it. Really good job.
Coach Fennelly, I just want to ask you as an Iowan, along with being a longtime women's basketball coach, this calendar year we've seen 2 Iowans hit 3,000 points with Ashley in March and Caitlin tonight. And just what that says, especially since they are kids from the state. And there's only 15 who've done that in college women's history.
No, I think one of the things, I think it's a great point. You're talking about 2 of the best women's collegiate players ever, and they are from our state, represented 2 great programs. And I think what it says, too, is everyone talks about the growth of the sport, which it's true, but the sport's been really big in this state for a long time, and everyone now I think is just kind of catching up a little bit. But, 2 dynamic players who did it right, made their schools relevant in a lot of ways on a national stage that maybe should have happened earlier, but that's a lot of points. And everyone was grilling me about Caitlin this and how are you going to stop her? And I'm like, number 1, you can't, and number 2, I think she's going to score a gazillion points. Well, against us, she's probably scored 100 and something. I mean, she scored 3,000 and something against everybody else too. So, it's a great thing and something I think both programs are proud of, and people in our state should be very proud of it as well.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for your time.